Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. We are still talking Media City Film Festival. I'm Julian, and I've got two other filmmakers with us today. I don't want to not say your name incorrectly. I don't want to say Basma Alsharif. We've got in the house with us, and we've got Ben Russell. So let's start with Basma. Tell us where you're from. Tell us the name of your film, what you've contributed to the Media Festival, and tell us what it's about.
I'm not from anywhere in particular. I'm Palestinian, but I grew up kind of all over the West and have been working and living nomadically for the last 6 years or so. And the film I have at Media City is called Deep Sleep. And it's a film that was shot under hypnosis as an attempt to move between places that I couldn't be in. One of them is the place where part of my family comes from, which is the Gaza Strip, and so, which is currently under attack. And but when I made the film, it was an attempt to go to a place that I was being forbidden from going to.
So you were hypnotized. You were hypnotized. You were really.
I was hypnotizing myself
You were hypnotizing yourself while the film was being made.
while I was filming.
That's interesting. Interesting concept. Did you encounter any interesting experiences during this project?
Tons. I shot it between 3 places. So the first place was Gaza, and the other 2 were Malta and Athens. And I don't remember shooting a lot of the film, so I think for me the interesting process is having an experience happen that you have no memory of until you see it recorded.
So I guess what I'm asking is how you describe the journey to us. I guess it would, you can't really, can you?
Have you ever been hypnotized?
No.
Okay.
Oh, the idea frightens me.
Have you ever...
The idea of mind control frightens me.
Okay.
I don't want someone else controlling me.
But what if it was you controlling yourself? So the idea of auto-hypnosis is that you're actually doing it to yourself. And for me, it was a long, kind of meditative process. So it took a year overall to sort of induce it, and I didn't know it was happening. Like I wouldn't have a memory other than what I was like present in. But then the idea of recording while under auto-hypnosis meant that I had this footage back of that I wasn't aware I was shooting, which became a kind of proof for me that it was happening. But then the film is a whole separate experience, which is meant to draw the audience into that experience through their own visceral reception of the film.
That's incredible. Is it your first time here to Media City?
It's my second time. I was here last year, and I think it's a great festival, and so I was very excited to come back for the anniversary.
We're glad you can come to Windsor.
Yeah,
Thanks for
me too.
joining us.
Thank you.
Ben, you've got 2 films that are being shown at Media City. Okay. Would you like to
Yes.
tell us about the 2 films?
Yeah, sure. The first takes its name from Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. It's called Let Us Persevere in What We Have Resolved Before We Forget. And
Long title.
it's shot on the island of Vanuatu, which is Melanesian, kind of a country that was colonized simultaneously by Britain and France. And I went there with another filmmaker a little while ago to visit a cargo cult, which is a place that has a really particular ideology about how to move forward in the world, kind of against Western modernism. And so I've been really interested and invested in the idea of utopia as a place. By definition, it's not a place. The word utopia means non-place. And sort of in the process of making this film came up with the notion that cinema actually is a kind of utopia, that it's a space that we get to occupy sort of temporarily. And so the second film, Atlantis, is a documentary portrait of the lost city of Atlantis, which is, in this instance, located in Malta. So I spent a month there filming and trying to again create something that doesn't exist but does exist when we get to exist with it. So both films are kind of within a non-fiction framework and are very directly trying to produce the effect of both the question of what it means to be in a utopic state, like what happens once we're happy, and what's beyond happiness.
Yeah.
But also,
How do we get there? And
yeah,
can
how do we
happiness
get
last
there?
forever?
And then what do we do with it? What do we do once we're content? Which I think for me seems like, I mean, obviously it's a pretty clearly stated goal, but it feels like it empties itself out once you arrive. So trying to think about how to produce it, how to and then how to like make it as an experience for an audience.
Interesting.
That's what I got.
Yeah. And this isn't your first time to Media City. How many times have you been here?
I was here. Well, this is the 4th time my films have shown here.
You're definitely not a newbie.
Yeah, and I think I was here 9 years ago. I took a class of students from Boston on a field trip and took them here. It was amazing, and I've been meaning to come back for a really long time. Jeremy and Una do a remarkable job of programming. It's one of the best, most well-considered sort of spaces for experimental artist films and videos in the world, really. So it's a really nice honor to not only make stuff, but to get to come here and see it.
Thank you for joining us, both of you. Thank you. Again, check the website for showtimes. Thank you so much for being here, Basma and Ben.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us.